Hi there, Chad here for the AI Content Dojo. This is another off-the-cuff video. I'm just going to write an article. I've been asked to show writing an article, what that looks like, and so here we go. Now, I do want to start first by saying that I'm obviously not perfect, and what you're going to experience is what you'll probably experience when you're using the AI. It's not just going to be one run through and the perfect content shows up and just blasts through the article. It's done in 2 seconds or something like that. No, it doesn't work like that. And, you know, I'm going to start from the perspective that I didn't really plan to do this because obviously I didn't, but somebody had asked. And so here's an article, or at least what will become an article. Maybe I won't quite finish the whole thing right here in front of you because for some reason I don't really like my videos going on and on and on, especially with a lot of dead air, with me not really talking or just writing or something. I feel like you don't really want to watch that, do you? But I guess let me know in the comments if it is something you want to watch. But so what I did was I started a little bit ahead. And so this is going to be about working from home. And I started off with just give me some topic ideas for working from home. And it gave me these. I ran this command just once. This is exactly what it gave me. And I picked 5 mistakes to avoid when working from home. So I can get rid of this now. Well, let me copy this first. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this now. And I'm going to make this the title. And then I started working on what will become an outline. But before I do that, let's see if we can write an article brief. And, this would be write an article brief 4. And then let me paste in that title. And I'll run this. I'm just trying to get an article brief, for a nice, rich article brief. Here we are. Please write an article about these days. It is common for people to work from home. It's not always easy, but there are plenty of ways to make your home office just as successful as a traditional one. All right. Put together a list of 5 things you should avoid when. Okay. Perfect. I'm going to cut this out of here, put it over here in the article brief. Don't need this command anymore. By the way, these commands are only hanging out because I'm holding down Shift, Command, Enter. Holding down the Shift key when you do Command, Enter will keep the command there. And if you don't want to keep the command there, then don't hold down Shift. I'm just keeping it there partly to show it off to you, but also just in case I want to rerun the command without doing the redo or come back later to redo. So, okay, now working on the outline. One of the things that I do when I'm working on an outline is I'll leave the command here and I'll let it generate the outline parts. But not all the outline parts are always what I feel like I want to use in my article, right? With every generation. So what I'll start doing is writing it down below that and just copying and pasting the ones I feel like I want to keep. So, so far, I have be proactive with your health and well-being, keep a clean desk and an office space, block out distractions, and at the end, stick to a schedule. But I don't have a number 4 yet. Wake up early, or at least not too late. That might be something. This one, avoid chairs. That's just weird, isn't it? I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and I'm going to rerun this. Write an outline for 5 mistakes to avoid when working from home. Not setting boundaries, overexerting yourself. Actually, that's a good one. Yeah, I'm going to use that one. I'm going to put that as number 4. Okay. All right, don't need this anymore. All right, so I have what will be my rough outline here. And so now we kind of need an introduction. Introductions are one of those things that's a little bit iffy to me with Shortly. You're supposed to be able to say, like, write an introduction to. I wonder if 2. And oops, I've already copied that thing. Let's see. Copy back in the title here. Introduction to or introduction. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna hold down Shift again. Keep that there. In the past, working from home was often something people did as a last resort, but now it's becoming a standard way of life, and rightfully so. According to a recent analysis of data by the Wall Street Journal, full-time telecommuters report higher levels of happiness and productivity, but it isn't all smooth sailing for remote workers. There are some issues that home workers might encounter that their on-site counterparts won't have to worry about, such as overworking or missing out on social contact. Wow, that's actually a really good introduction. All right, first run, lucky me. There's my introduction to the article. Let's see. To help you avoid these mistakes and more, we offer this list of 5 things to watch out for when working at home. Put a period on the end of that. That's really good. So one of the things I noticed already is it's saying things like we offer. So I'm just going to go ahead and change this now. You might change things to fix it, set it up more for your wording, for your voice, your tone, because Shortly is going to use that as context as you keep going through your article. And so you want to be sort of fixing it as you go so that, as the AI starts creating more content for you, it's at least using your tone and your voice or how you like to write when coming up with more content for you. Okay, so let's just break apart this outline now. And we'll start going through the outline. Let's see, being proactive with your health is, and let's let the AI write. No matter where they work, but when working from home, it is easy to, let the AI write. Forget about your well-being, especially if you're on a fixed-term contract. This is the fact you might not get sick enough to have. That's awkward. Let's rerun that. I don't want to talk about getting sick and going to the doctor necessarily. It's easy to let your schedule slip and suddenly you realize it's been 3 days since you last put on pants. I actually kind of like that. It is kind of funny because, I guess if you're working from home 100%, there's a good chance, if your company or your work isn't one where you need to get on a webcam or anything, I suppose that's possible. Now, obviously, let me just say this too. I didn't do any research for this yet. I'm just showing sort of what I might go through when I'm writing an article, and I'm actually kind of taking my time a little bit on this, just try and explain it as I go as well. And, just because we have these cool AI tools like this doesn't mean we have to like rush. Sometimes you can just sit down and write, have a cup of coffee or something with you and just enjoy it, the experience. And the little things like when it tells you that it's been 3 days since you last put on your pants, just enjoy it. And it's pretty fun, I think, over time. Like if you have the free time to spare and you're not on a deadline that's like 2 seconds from now, it can be a good time. Especially if you like writing. So let's see, being proactive. Yep. Being proactive with your health and well-being, but then it's talking about schedule. And to me, that isn't really keeping with the narrative thread. So I'm going to go ahead and take that away. When you've been working from home, it's easy to, and I guess what I'll have to provide a little bit more of a lead. So I'm going to say, forget about your own health. But in doing so, you risk, and now I'm kind of worried, like what is this AI going to give me now? Is it going to like risk? Okay. Okay, not too bad. You risk getting ill, which is an added pressure to the many stresses that come with working from home. To avoid this, it is important to make sure to exercise regularly, eat well, get enough sleep, and maintain a good level of hygiene. Okay, I know it's not an easy task, but if you can, let's let the AI write. Master it, you'll become more productive and have a great lifestyle. Good enough for now. Let's go to keep a clean desk and office space. Organization is a key skill for working from home. A clean desk and office space will give you, let's let the AI write, a much better chance of completing your work in the time that you have scheduled. This is because having a clean workspace will allow you to concentrate on what you're doing without having to think about the messy or organized it looks. Okay, we'll keep it. We can come back and edit that. It's not terrible, not perfect, but it's usable, and I will fix it to be more into my voice later. One way to organize your desk is, let's see what the AI tells us, is to keep it clean. Well, that's sort of obvious, isn't it? A number of products. So maybe if I was like an Amazon affiliate or something else, probably because Amazon's not really doing such a great job for affiliates lately, I would have some products that were about maybe desk setup, desk organization, and at this point, you start talking about them with the AI. I'm going to undo that. I don't want to talk about that just yet. One way to organize your desk is to, let's see what happens. Use decorative bookends or holders. Okay. I actually do that. Okay, so you can see it's getting stuck in a pattern. See, it says number 3. That's because up here there's, it sees 1 and 2. We don't want to be having a 3 yet. So let's go up here and let's cut this off for now, and then we'll put a context cutoff there, and this will alleviate the patterns. Well, the pattern is paragraph, basically. And so now it should not use numbering and stuff like that. All right, so let's see. You can also make a to-do list of your tasks. Yeah, okay. And put it on your desk to remind you of everything still to do. A great desk setup will help you. Let's see what else it'll do. A little bit repetitive, isn't it? Let's rerun that and see what we get. All right, well, it's following the pattern again because this is like a headline of sorts. So started, make time to exercise. I don't want that. Let's go ahead and cut that down. We can come back and work on this stuff a little bit more later anyways. Let's see. A great desk setup will help you remain organized and be more productive when you are working from home. Let's rewrite that. That would be highlighting it and then doing Command P. All right. It's more succinct, a little bit better. I like that better. Okay. And we can take the cutoff away. Let's make sure that this goes back. What was it? Number 2? Yep. Okay. Block out the distractions. Okay, now distractions are every worker's worst. Let's see what the AI gives us. Worst nightmare. But if you're working from home, a distraction can be anything that keeps you away from your task at hand. Everyday distractions come in all shapes and sizes. Some you might not even notice. Things like checking your mail. Here, let's put this down. Things like checking your email or Facebook for messages or doing laundry can be a huge time waster, or can be huge time wasters. That's perfect. Every once in a while, the AI just does a really good job, and it's kind of nice. And so things like checking your email, social media is a really, let's just say bad. I don't know. By the way, it's probably almost 3 or 4 in the morning here in Tokyo. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a really bad distraction because sometimes you'll sit down to get work done and it seems like 5 minutes later it is 2 hours later. But as long as you are working on a computer that is hooked up to the internet, the distractions will continue. there are some apps that can help you stay. Let's see what it does. Stay focused. Is he going to say that? Yep. Focused and even block out a lot of distractions you might have. Okay. The one app I recommend is Freedom. All right. Pause. Here's a little note. This is a statement of fact or like a naming of someone or something, in this case, an application. They're saying the one app I recommend is Freedom. Now, I don't know if that's really a real app or not. I will have to do some research now or before I publish this article to make sure that Freedom is a real app. If it's not, of course, there are apps that do block out, they even there's apps out there that will cut off your internet and everything so that you can focus when you're doing your work. If it's not called Freedom, I need to come here and fix this. All right, let's move on to overexerting yourself. Working extra long hours when working from home is often, let's see what the AI gives us, often a bad idea. It's always a bad idea. I do like you shouldn't work beyond your capacity. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that so I don't lose it. But I'm going to redo this first run and see what we get. Is often very tempting. It's quiet, it's peaceful, and you can work without any interruptions from coworkers or bosses. But this is a bad habit to get into because it can lead to burnout and poor performance while working. You shouldn't work beyond your capacity to achieve the quality of work you have planned for the day. It will cause, and let's just see. That's not much of a lead. It will cause, but let's see what it can, tired and less productive, yes. Some people take the opposite approach to this and say that if you get it done early, you have the rest of the day off. Yeah, okay. Which can really help you I was going to say morale. Morale's not right, I think. But that's what we use in the military setting, so let's just start there. You can really help your morale and keep you inspired to work hard while working from home. It can help if you schedule breaks in the middle of the day. Okay, I don't want this part right here. When you're working from home, you have so much time that it can feel like a waste to be sitting around doing nothing. Nah. That, of course, depends. I mean, if you're a single person and you just, you don't need to go out, don't need to go do anything because that's your personality or style, then maybe. But chances are that most of us, we fill our day with things, and so therefore that probably wasn't true. Helping if you schedule breaks, that's true, but it's not in the right section because I have a different section down here, so we can start there. It can help if you schedule breaks in the middle of the day, such as coffee or a snack. And let's see, stick to a schedule, but always having a solid schedule to work from is, let's see what the AI gives us, is what will ensure you accomplish your tasks. To do this, try and work for about 3 hours straight without interrupting yourself, then take a short break and schedule some time to check your email, Facebook, or just relax. It's actually great advice. Then come back and start. Well, let's see what the AI does. Then come back and start again. Maybe schedule 4 or 5 hours of work, then a coffee break or something else to take your mind off your work you're doing. This will help you avoid overworking and being too focused on the work you're doing instead of taking the time off when needed. Yes, that's actually pretty good. Okay, I think this is probably about as far as I'm going to go. I don't know, what is this, maybe 600 words or something, 750 words. You would probably go a little further. Of course, it depends on your topic, but if you do a little bit of research first, it should be a little bit easier. This was completely off the cuff. I haven't put even 2 seconds of thought to this. Somebody left a comment asking for me writing an article, so challenge accepted. Here it is. This is something of what it might look like. You can see that most of my instruct work was kind of at the beginning. You could use instruct more down throughout, the article. For instance, keep a clean desk and office space. Maybe you want the this section to have its own sort of outline. You could do slash instruct. Oops. Write an outline for, paste in the subsection's headline right there, or heading, and then you run this. And it'll give us a list, and we might be able to use that to kind of keep our thoughts going so we can work through just this section. Wow, what is this? This is like giving us paragraphs of outlines. That's actually pretty good. It's not what I expected it to do. Write an outline for keep a clean desk. Let's put some quotes around this just to see. Sometimes adding in the quotes will be a little bit helpful. Kind of keeps, maybe in some way it kind of keeps that collected together. No. It's not giving me an outline this time. Okay. Well, how about let's do it this way. Give me some topic ideas for, and we'll write. What I'm trying to show you though is that inside of your sections, if you need some ideas or some things to kind of keep you going or to add more content to the section, let's see, it's asking me if what I think of the output. Let's see, 10 simple ways you keep your desk clean. Best tools for homework. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll make it good, and then we'll go from there. So now I've got some ideas that I could use when I'm talking about keeping a clean desk. Like how to clean your desk. The best tools. Okay, maybe I'd want to discuss tools, what stuff that you would never put on your desk. And some of the benefits of having a clean desk. So that's just a way that you might start using instruct throughout your article. The way that I'm showing you this article, the way that I'm creating the article this time is a lot of dancing. It's me writing some, letting the AI write some, while the setting is set to a little, and that's on purpose because generally you end up with an article that you've at least seen all the parts, you kind of participated in the creation of it. A lot of what the AI was creating was based off of what you already started writing, and in many cases to the point where when you hit that write for me button, you already almost know what it's going to say next, right? And in a lot of cases, I'd say almost 80% of the time, the word that it started with is what I expected I was going to write anyways. And then it keeps going and it gives you more, and what you end up with is a longer article that's kind of getting almost to the point where it's pretty good and close to being done. You might tack on a conclusion that kind of wraps this up. Up here at the top, you probably would want to put sort of some content somewhere that would be like a featured snippet capable piece. In fact, let's just see what Shortly can do for us. Let's say write an answer for what are, and then I'm going to take this, copy, and paste that there. Question mark. All right, run it. What I'm looking for is sort of like a feature snippet sized answer. Oh, it's given, okay. It's giving the list of the list style answer that would be instead of a feature snippet paragraph, it'd be a featured list or something like that. Yeah, okay. Neglecting non-work related tasks such as paying your bills. Haircuts. Oh man, I haven't had a haircut in like a year because here in Tokyo there's some lockdowns. Plus since I work with the US military here, there are extra lockdowns for us. And so yeah, I got really long hair for the first time in my life, and I guess it's cool. Gotta do it once or something, right? Anyway, I think you can kind of see that. I mean, this almost acts like a pretty decent outline too. So, I guess tip or a takeaway is if you're having difficulty getting a good outline, maybe just change up the wording of what you're asking and make it a question, and then use this write and answer thing, and it might come up with something that might turn into a good uh, outline for you. Okay, so we're getting all done, and I just want to test one more thing. I don't think that this is going to work too good. I've only tested it a few times, but Shortly is a tool that learns and gets better and grows. So I want to see if it has the ability to write a conclusion now. And I'm just going to say write a conclusion for the above. And it should take the context above here. I don't have any context cutoff, happening, so it should kind of be able to see most of this article. And then when I do write for me, let's just see what happens. Write a conclusion. Continuing to learn and grow in my job is an accomplishment that I am proud of. Whether it's continuous training with the company or speaking in the, has nothing to do with it, does it? So let me try one more time. And then if that doesn't return a conclusion, I'm just going to think that it's not done. Working from home has many benefits, but also some drawbacks that can be easily avoidable. The 5 points listed here are a good starting point for anyone just starting to work from home or those looking to be more productive. To me, oh, that's actually really good. All right, cool. And, have like a little maybe, in summary or something for a heading. Okay. And what do we got? Maybe 900-ish, 850 words. That's unedited, and I haven't gone through to sort of spruce up or anything. What I would do before editing, though, is I would probably take this and I would paste it into phrase with the search term that I'm targeting. So maybe mistakes to avoid when working from home might be the search term. And phrase will come back with a list of topics, keywords that it thinks that I should make sure I use in my content. And I'd figure out ways of sprinkling that in where needed. Not too much, don't try too hard, but just kind of spruce up the capability or the SEO of it. And then I would take it into something like Grammarly Premium so that I can run all my grammar checks, do some clarity changes, fix up punctuation, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, a plagiarism check. Don't forget to do your fact checking on anything that's like names, statistics, dates, that kind of stuff, events. Make sure that you check those things that they're actually true, and which should be pretty easy if you're doing the dance and you know the topic already. And so here you go. This is what it would look like when you're writing an article. I would say the right way in Shortly. In the future, I will show some ways that you can more quickly generate almost kind of, you can't do scalable generation of articles using GPT-3. It's just against the OpenAI terms. But I do have methods that can work faster. It's just there's drawbacks to working faster with AI. And of course, if you know the topic better, you could do a better job of flowing and working quickly with your AI assistant than I did right here. This is just an example, quickly off the cuff with no planning, like literally zero. But I hope that you found it helpful and gives you a little bit of insight of what it looks like to write articles inside of Shortly. And if you do like it, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, because it helps the channel grow. And if you don't have Shortly and you purchase it with the link down below, Shortly will give the AI Content Dojo a small commission, and that would be at no extra cost to you, and I would really appreciate that. If you want to join me in the AI Content Dojo Facebook group, do a search on Facebook for the group name, or down below there's a link as well. And until next time, take care.